What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 30 of Funky Moose Presents The Sit Down. We got a little treat for you this week. We kind of talked about him before. We've got Jeremy Hunter in-house today. So there's the gentleman who does the grading of the records, kind of does the hunt for the records, right? So we have a good discussion with you on your process and sound checks, too. We both kind of like sound checks. As well as we're going to talk a bit about Marilyn Manson's new album, Pink Floyd, some Spotify.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out Funkymooserecords.ca. You can find all the episodes there as well. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Funky Moose Records. And let's get started. So this is where we ask, hey, how's it going?
It's going good. It was a long walk over, about 10 seconds.
Because Jeremy lives next door. So this is Jeremy.
Yeah, we got a treat for you guys here this week.
Jeremy is in charge of our used records, mostly the buying. We do the selling, you do the buying. So we invited him for some insights on how he buys records, how we choose records, how they go on the site, etc. But we're also going to be talking about
Record grading.
Record grading.
Yeah.
And we have some news topics that we're just going to...
We're going to wing it, I think.
We're going to wing it. Yeah, we don't have a program, really.
No, not at all.
No.
So,
that's the best kind of TV, huh? No program.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't know if I agree with that. But...
Why, you like structure?
Well, a bit of structure. That's, you look at an HBO show or a Hollywood movie, if you have plot. But, I mean, you can't do plot with a damn web series.
Right?
No.
Or a podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you had to take a look at, this is episode 30. So if you take all 30 episodes.
Fuck, 30.
What would you say our plot has been? Where is like the what's it called?
The whole,
where does it take a turn?
Yeah, the whole plot is we sit down, we have a bunch of topics that we may or may not touch on, and go.
Right.
So a podcast about nothing.
No,
Well,
it's about
not
something.
about nothing.
It's about something.
I was trying to do like a Seinfeld spin on that.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I hate Seinfeld.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Well, it depends.
Depends
That's a
on the
strong
day.
word, man.
Yeah, it is. No, I don't hate him. It's like I don't miss it.
I envy
He's
the
funny.
amount of money he has.
Fuck
that guy's
I envy
almost
his
a
cars.
millionaire. Yeah.
He has cars. My God.
So does Jay Leno. I watched a few episodes of Jay Leno's garage lately.
Yeah.
Because there's some pretty sweet cars.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty awesome.
And he just
I
takes
watched a
them
few episodes, the first ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with him.
So hey, today at noon, Matt Blay did a live performance on Facebook. Did you happen to catch that?
No.
No?
I didn't watch everything because it was my lunch break. And I had to go places. So
Oh yeah, I rocked it out, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched
Was
the
it
whole
good?
thing. Yeah, it was good. It was just him in this. I guess I'm not sure whose studio that was.
It wasn't much of a studio. It was more like a event center or something. Right?
Yeah, and then it was just him with the guitar and harmonica, and
Yeah.
then he played like 5 songs, I think.
I saw the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt, if you're watching, good job.
Yeah, good job today, buddy. We were there. Funky Moose Records was there representing. So that was kind of fun. I was learning how. I called Mark and bugged him today because I didn't know how to share the link to Funky Moose's page so that people could tune in from Funky Moose. So
Joel is very, very...
computer illiterate.
Oh, I'm so glad you finished my sentences.
Right? Well, I'm stuck in the 90s, man.
I had computers in the 90s.
Yeah, I know, but we weren't doing like Facebook back then.
Are you like
True.
to the level of Zoolander, you know, where they're standing over top of the computer screen and they don't know what to do and they're like monkeys.
No,
dressed
I know. I think maybe I'm a little bit better than that after I talk to Mark. But until I talk to Mark, it's usually like, yeah, what is this contraption?
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, kudos, shout out to Matt Blay in Alberta there. That was pretty sweet. And then, did you watch the news this morning? CTV News. Do you guys watch CTV News at all?
No.
I don't watch
Right?
any Canadian
Shit, man.
news.
It's like every time I try and like, if there's a specific topic or whatever I'm looking for on there, holy shit, there's ad after ad after ad. It's insane, man.
That's how they make their money.
We can
It's
fix
crazy.
that. We can fix. Oh, do you watch it on TV or do you watch it online?
I don't have TV.
So you watch it online.
I watch it online.
I got a trick for you.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
It took me like an hour and a half to sift through 20 minutes of CTV footage.
Okay, so the only reason I
No,
watch...
that's a little extreme. It wasn't that extreme, but it was.
Well, do you know that there's in an hour, there's 20 minutes of ads? Like if you watch a TV show,
Well, yeah.
for an hour, it's 20 minutes of
What
ads.
pissed me off is that I wasn't watching it on TV. I was
Right.
on the line.
oh my God, were you on the Facebook too?
I was on the this damn the COVID. The COVID.
But so I'm on Twitter a lot, and that's where I catch my news. And then usually it links to CTV, CBC,
Right.
Whatever. So
To
that's
their website.
yeah. So that's the only reason I go to the CTV website. How do
Okay.
you follow your news?
No, Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't turn on the TV and like go on CNN or any of that.
No.
So do you like? I would almost disagree with everything I see on Facebook. I don't do Facebook at all.
Well,
I don't believe it.
I don't take it as fact.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I think the less news you watch, the
The
more
better.
productive
Right.
and the higher quality of life you're going to have.
I would agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Because we were talking about that timeline on the side of Twitter. It was a shit show again today.
Was it?
Oh yeah. Anyway.
I still, yeah, so I've tried Twitter, but I don't understand it. Like, that's how computer illiterate I am. Like, I tried it for a couple of days and I was like, I stuck with Instagram because I can figure that one out. But Instagram is Facebook. So
Yeah.
I guess I do Facebook. Anyway.
Yeah. Should we talk about music?
Well, shout out to Matt.
Oh, we did. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about music.
No, I was talking about CTV News because I was going into something there, but then I wanted to pull back on it and I brought us back to it. Do you remember Canadian Idol?
No.
No. Oh yeah,
You want to
you're
know
not
why?
from Canada?
Oh yeah.
You Dutch bastard. Okay, are you familiar with American Idol?
Okay. Are you familiar with that? Idol is actually a Dutch program.
Was it originally?
So is The Voice.
The Voice. I have a voice.
It's all like Eurovision, huh? Isn't that what catapulted ABBA to fame?
I think so.
Eurovision.
But right now, Eurovision is all about who can be the stupidest on TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
and
Jackass?
no. It's like
It's a singing contest.
it's a singing contest, and they
Keep the worst of the worst.
no. So every country in Europe sends one artist to go to this Eurovision Song Festival. And then each artist gets one song to perform. And at the end of the night, the other countries are going to be voting for who was the best. That's the original intent of the whole Eurovision thing. But lately, in the last, 10, 15 years, it's been, okay, we got to get people's attention to win. So the acts are getting bigger, they're getting weirder. They're not even about singing anymore. It's more about who can entertain the best.
Showboating.
Showboating, yeah, exactly. And then whoever wins gets.
What, $1 million or whatever?
No, I don't think it's for money even. It's for fame, I guess.
For fame. Will Ferrell did a movie
Yeah,
on Netflix.
that was this year.
Oh, okay. That's what that movie's about.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It's on my list, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I don't think you're missing too much.
Okay.
Did you watch
Okay,
it?
good.
I watched I Left a few times. Yeah, it's not too bad, but I mean, you probably could find something better to do with.
Dude,
2
you know what
hours
I
of your
watched was it this last week? We watched a show on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I've been with Janelle for going on 9 years ish.
Holy shit.
I have never seen her laugh this hard in my life, and it was a really good show. It's called The Wrong Missy with David Spade.
Oh yeah,
You
I
see
saw
that movie?
Yeah, me and Katie saw it.
Did you laugh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy shit, that movie is amazing. And it's not like brand new or nothing. It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Check that movie out. If you need a good laugh, dude, it's good.
Okay.
It's retarded humor. It had I was high. I can say that because weed is legal now, but as high as a kite, I was like, fuck, this is funny.
It's good, right? It's so good. Anyways. Yeah, that was that was a pretty sweet show.
So you're saying I should get high and then watch it?
Well, I mean, it's legal. I mean,
No, but
you're not going to
does
go
it matter?
to
No, but does it matter if it's good or bad, high or not high?
Oh, you'll enjoy it either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's more enjoyable if you're big, though.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. How did we get on that again?
Eurovision.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then Will Ferrell.
What happened before Eurovision? How do we get to Eurovision?
Canadian Idol.
Oh, right.
But anyways,
Right.
okay.
So Canadian Idol. Yeah.
Yeah, and
started
then
started
we
in
were on to
Holland.
CTV News. And,
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
So what was
I thought
with
it
the
was like
CTV article?
Simon Cowell started that American Idol
No.
stuff.
No.
Well, didn't he make it? He made it popular though, right?
No, he was just the
He
American
was
judge.
just a douchebag.
Yeah.
Douchebag
Wasn't
judge.
he not like the creator of that shit?
No, he was not. No.
Come on, Google it.
Okay. He may have taken over production after a few years, but Idol is in Holland. It's called Idols. That's it. No Dutch Idol.
Well, because he's not American though. Simon Cowell.
No. Oh, no.
So what is he?
British.
Yeah.
But it started in Holland.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Interesting.
So did The Voice. The Voice in Holland is called The Voice of Holland.
The Voice of Holland.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to know what Holland people sound like, you just tune into The Voice.
Google The Voice of Holland. Yep.
Check it out.
It was actually the first episode ever of The Voice of Holland. The first guy that was on stage ever is the one that won the first season there, and he did Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire. No, the other one. Anyway, he opened his mouth. The first four bars or whatever, all four judges hit their button, and then he picked, and then they did the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I
he won.
think I saw that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you know much about guitar?
Guitar?
Yeah, like guitar notes and strings and stuff
Oh,
like that?
no, I can't play
No?
guitar to save my life. No.
Okay.
I know. Well, we have a few people that might watch that know a thing or two about guitars.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say the joke if it
doesn't make sense.
If it doesn't make
Okay.
sense.
Well, let's skip
Maybe
it.
next week.
Yeah, save it for a
Save,
musician.
save it for the next. Yeah. But yeah, so I was just a little annoyed with CTV News there with all the freaking ads.
So why were you on CTV?
Oh, because it. Yeah, fuck. There's remember? Okay, I was going to Canadian Idol. Now, one of the runner-ups on season 2 of Canadian Idol is from Saskatoon, and she's been hitting up the CTV circuit there lately. So I've been trying to find her on there and sifting through all these freaking ads, and it's always the same ads. A lot of like Ford commercials and shit like that. So
Ford.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah?
pissing me off.
Not the Chev Colorado.
Not the Colorado.
Colorado.
You used to have one of those, right?
Well, it was either a Colorado or let's just say it was Colorado.
Yeah. I think yours was a GMC.
Oh, Canyon. It was a
GMC Canyon. Yeah.
Nice.
Colorado Canyon.
Colorado.
So, Jeremy, I am curious on how, like...
Should we do a
how you
history?
do-
How we met?
Yeah. Yes. Please do. Get into it.
Well,
Should I start from my end?
yeah, you can start from
Okay.
there.
So, remind me what year it was.
2015, I think.
Yeah,
Or
around
20s. No, 2015.
2015
So long
or so.
ago, it was before that
It was
nasty plague.
It was before COVID.
Before the plague.
So our house was up for rent, and we got new tenants. And this guy and his wife and his 2 kids moved in. I didn't know where they were from, who they were, whatever. But
But you were just like, oh, sweet, we got some tenants.
yeah,
Nice.
and
1 kid at that point.
right, 1 kid, yeah.
Yeah. I figured you were talking about me.
2015. Oh yeah, the youngest one. So Jeremy brought the rent to my door every month because living next door has its perks, and then all of a sudden he asks about this Funkymooserecords thing, what I was doing with that. And then I explained, well, it's a online record store and yada yada. I wasn't doing anything with used records at that time. I dabbled here and there. I just gotten a hold of that big collection, or was that after I met you?
That was after.
Yeah.
About a year after.
Yeah. So,
So how far into the creation of Funky Moose Records were you when you met Jeremy?
well, 2015 is when I started the store, and 2015 is when Jeremy moved in.
Okay.
So it would have been, I don't know, maybe.
So you were just getting your toes wet.
Yeah. It was just fresh, and then Jeremy comes up to me. He says, "Well, I go to garage sales and auctions and stuff like that. I like finding shit." Like, okay, what does that mean? He's like, I can find you records because I keep seeing them in auctions and garage sales and estate sales and whatever. Like, okay, do you know anything about records? No, but we can change that. Okay.
Yeah.
So then the first box that you brought.
Oh, I stole that off my parents.
Yeah.
I went to one of their many storage units, and I found a box of records. I didn't tell them.
God, they
won't miss it.
Mom, Dad, if you're watching.
They won't be watching.
Surprise!
So yeah, he brought me that box, and he was like, "Well, look through this." And I looked through it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is
Like, these are records, all right.
this is exactly what you said it was. Shit."
Oh, he said nicer. Well, I'll go through them, and maybe we'll find a couple.
Yeah.
How many was there?
There's
total?
about 50, and he put 2 up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best ratio
No,
at that point.
but after that,
No.
you got your toes wet. You thought, okay,
So wait,
No.
so from that encounter, did you kind of like run through some things for him to like keep an eye out for when looking for the albums?
yeah. Well, basically, the first thing after he brought that record or that box was like, okay, if you're gonna be serious about this, here's what to look for.
Right.
So then I gave you a few pointers, and you kind of ran with that, and then did your own research,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then this is where your story starts.
Yeah. Where my story starts.
So once you like Mark tells you like 4 or 5 points on what to look for when looking for records, then what's going on in your head at this point or prior to that? Like, are you thinking like, holy shit, this is gonna be easy money? Like, I see this everywhere.
I figured with that first box that I brought you, I was going to become a millionaire with it. My dreams were dashed completely. But
Sorry.
I mean, from that point, you realize you need to find stuff of quality.
Right.
Or I need to find stuff of quality. I need to find music that people actually want to listen to. And I mean, my own music, the music I enjoy the Doors, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, 70s rock.
Yep.
Yeah. Buddy Holly. Yeah. So I took my own musical taste, and that's what I was going with.
Right.
That's what I was looking for. And
Which
there,
helped because a lot of our clientele like exactly what you like.
Yeah.
So that's also why you see a lot of that stuff on our site, because that's what
Yeah.
you and I know, and we know that sells. Like if somebody's asking for specific jazz records or something, I'm like, okay, we can
Yeah.
look into it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not into jazz that much, so I don't know what's. And especially with jazz, you have like 50 different pressings of one record.
Yes. Yeah. I
So
see
then-
that too when I'm putting on like new albums and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, who the frick is this guy? Like,
Yeah.
never.
You know, first of all,
Then
you know,
I'll see the album cover and it's like from the 70s and he's got like a trumpet or something.
Oh, it's
I'm
probably
like, what the
older
heck?
even.
You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
I-
It's
I
like,
think-
what?
I think part of the time the album cover helps to sell the record.
Like, because
Yeah.
of the art?
Well, I think one of the biggest selling points with records is that it does resemble something like a piece of art that you can hang on your wall.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's a big part of the vinyl revival that we've been seeing since the, early mid 2000s, that it's slowly coming back, because you can download a song, but then it's on your phone or MP3 player or whatever, and then what?
Yeah.
You listen to it. But with physical media, so even cassettes or CDs, you have something in your hand that you can look at. And with CDs, you have little booklets inside, and you can go
Yeah.
through it and whatever.
Lyrics are in there. And
Yeah, exactly. And with vinyl, I mean, a lot of customers that we have put their records on the wall as a display. And if you look at like listening rooms or music rooms, there are people that have their whole wall full of album covers.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. I think
Well, and that's like one of the topics we were going to get into was that Pink Floyd.
yeah.
Right? Like, so for those of you who are listening and don't know, is that there seems to be like, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but there's like a 6 album, like box sets kind of things of Pink Floyd albums, but the cases are like jigsaw puzzles. So a collector's thing is what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
So
So these puzzles are all based on the album covers of
Pink
each
Floyd
record.
albums.
Yeah. And the UK firm that makes these,
okay,
act-
so it's not like the album, it's just jigsaw puzzles
Yeah.
of the album covers.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
So-
misunderstood that.
So this firm has done this before with Rush, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, Kiss, Metallica, and Queen. So Pink Floyd is next, I guess, and
Oh man, that's a good idea.
it's a novelty thing, and I think it's
So could this product be something that, wow, we could have this on the website, could we not?
if I can find a distributor that
Would
sells
do
them
it?
here.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Now what, is that Metallica's, or who has the Black Album? Is that Metallica or AC/DC?
Both.
Right? And then, but
They
the album,
both have a black album.
but the album cover just pitch black.
Both.
Both
Except
of
AC/DC has an embossed AC/DC logo, and Metallica has a very
Like a snake or
in the
something,
top
right?
Yeah, in the top right they have their Metallica. It's kind of like a bluish Metallica logo, and then you have different kind of blacks.
Yeah,
It's black and then a little less black.
right,
That's where the snake comes in.
right. What kind of snake is it? Because he just got named.
Oh,
That's probably why. So did you know about this? So that James Hetfield, some scientists found a new species of cobra or python or some shit like
Snake.
that. A snake. South African?
sure.
Summers. Right? And this was
This
like
was
a
last
week.
week.
Yeah,
I
a week or
forgot
two
about
ago.
that.
And they named it after James Hetfield.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did. Because they were fans of Metallica.
Yeah.
These scientists. So I forget the scientific term of the snake, but they named it after him. So that was but that kind of is starting to make a little bit more sense now.
I believe even Prince had a black album.
Really?
Yeah.
He had purple, didn't
Well, he had a black album there's only a limited amount of copies. So if you look on Discogs from about 2 years ago, this thing is worth crazy money.
he? Really? Like what?
$27,500.
I'm
Really?
gonna Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
Prince
Black Album.
Black Album.
So where I was going at with that was like, if it was just how would you, if you're doing a jigsaw puzzle of just black, right? How would you know if it's the AC/DC one or the Metallica one? But I
Well,
guess
if they're
if they
both
have-
black, then
right?
The best thing would be if having them both and just throw them in one box
Ooh.
and then try to. No.
that's no different than some of the abstract paintings you come across today.
Just hammer the pieces in, right? There you go. But yeah, no, I think that's that's a good idea.
Oh, they'll make money off it. Well, it's gonna help to increase their notoriety.
Why didn't we think of
Possibly.
that? Because we're not into puzzles.
Because we're idiots.
We're not.
Actually, I did. It's funny because I actually did contact the company that makes our boxes, our mailers. I inquired, like, do you do jigsaw puzzles by any chance? Because I wanted to make a Funkymooserecords logo jigsaw puzzle, but they didn't. So I didn't bother searching anymore.
pursuing it any further.
They make boxes, not puzzles.
Do you remember last year I picked up that batch of Pink Floyd albums?
Yep.
2 were signed by
Yeah.
Roger Waters.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
That was some of
You
our
still have
best
'em?
finds. No, we sold them.
That sold the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$200 each.
Yeah.
I think $200 each.
Somewhere around there.
How much did you get them for?
We're not
Wow.
gonna, we're not,
Let's
we're
not
gonna,
go there.
No, let's,
$400 you paid for it.
yeah.
We made a bit of money off that batch.
Cool.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you have different kinds of sellers.
Yeah. Okay. So going back to when you're out on the hunt, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking for, is it just?
You know Jeremy's last name, right?
Yeah.
That's what Don kept saying. That's last guy we bought.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
Who we bought that 10,000 record batch off of.
Yeah.
Jeremy the Vinyl Hunter. It has a good ring to it.
Just like,
He's not wrong.
Right? What's like Dog the Bounty Hunter kind of thing,
Yeah,
but Jeremy the Vinyl Hunter. Yeah, for those of you that didn't pick up on that, Jeremy's last name is Hunter. So that's what's funny there. But okay, so when you're going back, when you're on the hunt and you're looking for albums, like, are you just doing like garage sales, or where exactly are you looking on, like Kijiji and all of the above?
Well,
Like,
it can be Kijiji, it can be buy and sell.
right.
But as of recently, after we did that,
CTV News?
The
CTV News,
CTV News. Yeah.
we had a ton of people reach out to us.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you want.
Yeah. It was after that article. I think it was for 2 weeks straight, where it wasn't the day that I got a phone call asking somebody saying, "Hey, do you buy records? Because I saw your CTV article." Yeah, we buy records. So that's where.
Yeah.
That's why we now have about. Well, how many are left?
Wow. We still have 9,000.
Yeah.
So out of that big score,
It's not a score. It's something we bought. It's
Well,
not
we sell so for almost 1,000.
yeah, about 1,000.
and you bought how many?
10,000.
10,000. So yeah. So have they all been sifted through already, or are you just kind of,
Well,
as
it's-
you're going through them, you're adding them and like chipping
Gradual.
away at it? Yeah.
I'll go in there. I look for ones I think will sell.
Right.
And I add those first. And all the anonymous scurry, Perry Como,
Yeah.
crap that no one really wants.
Yeah.
That's all going to be very, very last.
Right.
If at all.
Right. So if you get
But we did an experiment with $2 records,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it went over pretty well.
like
So,
a toonie bin.
Yeah, we have a
So
tuning
all
bin.
the anonymous scurry, all that stuff, you might see it in the tuning bin one of these days.
Right. Could even get like throw 5 in for like
Yeah. Have
5
a
in for $3 or something.
5
right?
for 5 or
5
something.
for yeah.
Can I talk about one of my best hauls?
Yeah. 100%.
Well, okay.
Let's hear it.
Please do.
Please do.
Not asking for permission, but you know. Anyway, it was a local guy here in town. I think you know him.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was at a flea market in Waka here, and I was just going up to everyone. Hey, you sell records? You sell records? You sell records? I went up to him. He has his coin set up, and then I looked at him. Hey, you sell records? No, but I have some records. Then he gave me his number. And I went to his house. I don't know what I was thinking. I only had about $3.50 in my pocket.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So he had this box of about 50 albums.
This is after you met Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the first record in the box was Chad Allen and the Expressions. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't.
Do you know who the Guess Who is?
Yes.
That was a Guess Who before they were the Guess Who.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So that was their
Yeah,
very first album. So I look at, hey, well, I didn't know his name then. Hey, guy, I'll give you $3.50 for the box. $350 sold. No, $3.50. So I was like, okay, whatever, just take them. So I took them.
So you gave him $3.50.
$3.50.
Yeah.
Well,
Canadian.
I'm
Canadian.
Yeah.
back then I was very stingy. I'm a little less stingy now. That's all I
Are you
had
though?
on me.
Are you a
Wow.
little less stingy?
Maybe. Depends who you ask. So I go to the in-laws' house because I didn't have internet, and I checked on the computer.
Yeah.
Chad Allen, and I saw a starting price $299.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, Katie! And she was already sick of hearing about record prices at that point. What do you want? Well, this record right here, $299. She's like, okay, whatever. So I bring it to Mark. I bring it to you.
I remember you walking in with that. You,
Was he all smiles?
yeah, well, I thought you brought a box, but you had that one separate or something.
I had that one too.
And he shows up. He's like, "Look this one up. Look this one up." And I'm like, "Why?" And I look at
Just
I
to
didn't-
confirm what he had researched.
And I looked at it and I was like, I didn't recognize it. And he's like,
Yeah,
this is the Guess Who. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I entered that into Discogs, and I look at my screen, and literally my face was like, huh? So yeah. $299. Whoa.
We sold it about 4 months later. It was sitting on the site for a while.
Yeah, it was on the shelf for a while.
Yeah.
But it was about 4 months later, no interest at all during those 4 months. And I got an email from a guy in Spain saying that, hey, that Chad Allen album, can you send a few pictures? I go, sure. So I took a few pictures, sent it over. And he was like, okay, yeah, that looks good. Next paycheck, I'll place an order. I'm like, okay,
You're
sure.
like, yeah, I'll believe it when
Yeah,
it happens,
whatever.
bro. Like, thanks, yeah.
And then over the weekend, I think that the next Monday must have been payday or something. All of a sudden, there's a $350 order that comes in. I was like, whoa, okay.
So you
Just-
had listed it for the $299,
Yeah, well,
$299.
yeah, somewhere
or whatever
around
it was on Discogs.
Yeah.
Right?
there. And then I look at the order and I was like, holy crap, we actually sold it. And so the $50 was for the shipping to
Right.
Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I saw Conrad about a week later when I went to the bank here in town.
After it sold or after you bought
after
it?
it's sold.
Right,
And
okay.
then I was like, hey. I was like, yeah. Hey, I recognize you. What's up? Well, do you remember that record, that box of records you sold me? There was a Chad Allen record in there. Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? Just sold it. $299 to a guy in Spain. And his jaw dropped. Oh, wow. And I was like, well, see you later. I got my vehicle and drove off. But I saw him about 2 weeks after that. I went to go and see if I could sift through some more records. And next time I went there,
He
was-
let you go back in?
well, he showed me everything. He showed me his entire...
Like the whole
Or-
collection?
Well, no, he has a collection of everything. This
Right.
guy, holy shit. But anyway, he took some old country records, Tammy Wynette, and nothing really interesting.
Yeah.
And he's like, these records are good. $5 each. And I looked at him, well, I think we're way too far off. So I'm going to get going. And I didn't buy off him again.
Yeah.
His price went up when he,
When
I
he
kind
knew
of
you
shot
made some big
myself in
point.
the,
Yeah.
And since then, you've learned not to brag about how much you sold it for.
Oh yeah,
Again.
no, you don't want to do that.
No.
No,
But it's exciting though.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
I was excited
Especially
too.
when you, well, not trying to brag about the amount of money that's made, but you know, part of the rush for record hunting is going out there and finding these real treasures. These records are worth this much money.
Right.
And typically you don't go in and find like 1,000 records are worth $100 each.
No.
No. But if you find 10,
Yeah.
5,
Well,
10.
that's why we buy whole collections.
Yeah.
Buy in bulk.
Yeah, because they're sure whatever it is, 60% might be average, 30% might be below average, but that 10% is what you break even or make your money on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how far have you, like that last haul, that big score there, or that big score, was that the farthest that you guys have went to pick up a
No.
purchase?
No, I went to a Assiniboine. That was not the best buy,
No?
to be honest.
That was us together, but I went to Red Deer
Yeah.
to pick up that.
That
So
whole-
that's 7-hour drive, whatever.
One way, yeah.
Another good buy was I messaged this woman on Vinesell. So I said, "Do you have any records?" She said, "Yep, I got 2 crates full."
Like milk
So-
crates?
Milk crates.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said, "How much you want?" She's like, "I don't know. Give me an offer." I'm like, "Okay, 10 cents a record." She's like, "Yeah, I just want to get rid of them." Okay, we'll do that. So I transferred over $30.
That's a lot of records.
Wow.
Hey, it's 10 cents a
Wait,
piece?
no, it may have been a bit more than that, but
Yeah, it
a
was-
quarter a piece or whatever.
This
It
was
was
the one in
about-
Alberta, right?
No, that was in Prince Albert.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I messaged you up right after and said, "Hey, Mark, can you pick up these records?
Yeah.
I just bought them in Prince Albert."
And you told me it was 2 crates or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There were 3, overloaded.
Yeah.
So there were a few
For
more.
like
than,
$30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere
$30
around there,
bucks.
Yeah.
So Mark brings them to my place. I quickly rush home from work because I'm working a crazy amount of overtime, but I'm excited to see what's there.
Right. You're
And-
looking for that other $300 record, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I walk through the door. Katie's in the kitchen with her cousin, and then I look through these. I'm like, holy shit, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Nothing but 70s, 80s rock. Stuff that I know is worth like $20, $30 a piece.
A bit of money, yeah.
Yeah. So immediately I go to work. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I quit.
Well, I didn't quit. I just tried to.
Quit for the day, yeah.
Yeah. So
Quit the overtime for the day?
Yeah.
So I go back home. First record I added $50. It just kept going. I added probably $4,000 worth from that $30.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So at the end of the month, that was December.
Was it December?
Yeah, I think so. November, December.
Yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
before Christmas, yeah.
At the end of the month, I bought myself a big screen TV.
Yeah. Let's take a break and talk
Yeah.
about this some more.
For sure. I want to hear more, Jeremy.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Okay, so shit. What did we end that first half on?
Jeremy bought a big screen TV.
Oh yeah. What kind of
I
TV did you buy?
I know, but I just want to reiterate that we're not here to
To lowball.
to
anybody.
lowball and you know offer the lowest price possible.
No.
But it's there are a lot of people that just want to get rid of the records. They're in the way
Yeah.
and they want to get rid of it. And sure, if we give 10 cents a record, great.
Yeah,
they're
and,
happy.
And you're
It's-
also just talking about like the better side of that hunt.
Yeah.
Like how many freaking times do you go in there and you'll spend like $10 an album and it's shit and they're not worth 50 cents.
We that one in the Assiniboine that we went to, that was a fairly big haul.
Yeah.
and we spent quite a bit of time and money there.
Quite a minute, Quite a minute,
Stop making fun of my accent. But we spent quite a bit of time and money there, and then we ended up with. Did we even break even on that?
No.
No.
We lost money on that one.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
That's the game, right?
Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. I forgot where I was going with that one.
Oh.
that hall. That was primarily country. There's nothing wrong with country. People love country.
Yeah.
There was some old Hank Williams in there, Waylon Jennings, but then again, there was a lot of stuff that,
Of no
that
value.
would sit on the site.
Right.
And-
Okay. So, sorry. Finish.
Well, that was basically.
That was
Yeah.
it. So okay,
Period.
where I wanted to go with that's good that like you'll recognize some albums and some names and you'll know right away, hey, there's some value here.
Yeah.
Now to go a step deeper into that, and you're looking at the quality of the album, because it could be a $200 album,
Yeah.
but maybe it's got a big fucking gouge across the side of it, and it's
It
not
has
worth shit.
If it has a big gouge, anything deeper than a surface scratch, it needs to get play graded. And only records that are worth, a decent
Value.
amount of money are going to be added to the site.
So if you see enough records, Jeremy's seen a few records by now.
Well, I probably added 5,000 by now or more.
Oh, more than that. Way more than that.
Yeah.
But you get a feel of, okay, there's a scratch on this, but is this audible or not? So if a lot of times Jeremy comes over, now you have your own turntable, but before Jeremy would come over, can you play grade this and make
see if
sure that
if
it doesn't
it's-
skip
yeah.
or,
Yeah.
and then based on that, you make a decision on what grade you give it.
Getting back to that, with a recent batch we bought, there was a Bob Marley in there. And upon first appearance, this record did not look great.
Mm-hmm.
You put on the turntable, it sounded Fiji.
Yeah.
Really damn good.
There was some snap, crackle, and pop in here, but
Yeah.
it's not. It was still very good.
Yeah, okay, so then my question would be, obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but that would determine the sound quality would also be determined by what kind of record player the customer is using,
Oh, yeah.
right? If they like that Bob Marley album, for example, if somebody who's like, what kind of record player do you have at home,
Audio Technica.
right? Like that one you're always telling me that I should buy for a
Yep.
beginner one?
Yep.
Okay, so to go from that one, and it's playing good on yours, which is fine, perfect, but you've got a customer that buys that record with like a Walmart or Canadian Tire record player, and then it doesn't play on theirs, and they're bitching about it. Then what? How does that happen?
Man,
Or no?
Very,
Yes and no?
Very little. It actually the ones that we get complaints about are usually the new records. They come warped straight from the pressing plant.
Yeah.
Or there's a scratch on there or whatever. Those are usually the ones that I either refund or replace.
Yeah.
But used records, we get very little.
Complaints about
Very few people that are complaining, and every once in a while there's something that Jeremy missed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's not a robot.
And
That's
appearance-wise, a record can still appear to be VG plus
Yeah.
or near mint. There could be something on the record that isn't immediately
That's right.
spotted. And since I'm not play grading them all, then
Yeah, because there's simply no time to play them all.
So, and when you do that, you have to go like cover to cover, right?
Yeah,
Start
exactly.
to finish on both
Exactly.
sides.
So there are some, like when they're here, and we're packing records, Jennifer and I are packing records or whatever, we often play music from the inventory, just the few
Make sure
that
that it's legit or not.
that's
effed up.
that's the added benefit. We just grab the records that look interesting, may sound interesting, so we put it on a turntable and listen to that while we're packing records. And at that time, if I notice that a record is skipping, then it's coming off the site right away.
Right.
Or if it sounds terrible, then I'm gonna make sure that that is actually in the description as well. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
haven't-
so has it ever happened where there is a band or an artist that you are absolutely not a fan of at all,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah.
it has some value,
Yeah.
so you have to like torture yourself
John Lennon.
through the album?
Oh,
John
no,
Lennon.
no, oh, that was awful.
Oh, no.
I would have, I think that was VG. I would have graded that as good for, good condition. That doesn't necessarily mean it's in good condition, but that's a grading
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah,
But
it was-
that was awful. You turn that record around, you just hear that shrieking.
How long was that album?
The back side of that,
It sounded like it was forever.
oh yeah. When it sounds that awful, it always sounds like it's forever.
Yeah. I mean, and Jeremy and I are pretty much on the same page when it comes to music, but that record, it sold, 2 days after we
Yeah.
put it on the site?
Yeah.
And that person is happy with it. So, it's not up to us to decide, oh, we're not putting
That's
this
right.
on the
That's
site
if it's
because
good.
we don't like it.
Yeah.
That's not how
Yeah.
that works.
And I think since I do go against my own musical taste at time, that is beneficial to the musical selection that we do get.
That's right. Yeah, because else we'd end up with only the Doors and Jimi Hendrix. And
That makes sense.
I mean, it would sell.
The
But I
Rolling
mean-
Stones. But if I was that selective with what I'm buying, then I'd be doing myself a disservice and the customers a disservice.
Right.
And that's again, we don't go in and cherry pick records. If someone has a collection for sale, then we buy the whole collection or nothing.
That's right.
We don't go.
You don't go
know,
sifting through it.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Has it ever happened where, okay, no, not has it ever happened, but when you're, what is that called? Play grading?
Yep.
Is that what you're calling it? Is that what the kids are calling it these days? But when you're play grading an album,
Old man.
to notice a skip in it, like you might have to be very diligent in what you're listening to, right? Because it's not like it's going to get hung up on that one spot and repeat. It might just do one quick skip and then keep on going.
Yeah.
Am I
That
wrong?
has happened.
Right?
Yep.
The band, do you know that band? It's called The Band.
That kind of sounds, it rings a bell.
What was their famous song? Down Cripple Creek and Take a Load Off Annie.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
that
The
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
yeah.
what
Wait,
the-
that's the one. Yeah.
proper title for
Yeah,
that song
whatever.
is called. But I was playgrading that one, and there was a slight skip, but the rest of the record sounded good. I put in the description. The customer knows exactly what they're buying,
Yeah.
and that the record has been playgraded. And since it did skip, it was an immediate good plus.
Right.
So with every grade, so we used
The grading, gold mine.
gold mine
Grading
standard of
standard.
grading, and it's basically what they would use for baseball cards and stuff like that. So you have a mint that's not touched, basically. Near mint is, well, it's been out of the sleeve but probably never played. Then you have VG plus, very good plus, which is played but very good. VG is then you can tell that it's been used and played, previously loved, I guess.
VG is commonly what a lot of customers go for. Because,
Yeah, and
you look at VG Plus near mint, you're looking at more money. So for your average customer, if they want to spend $8 on an album, $7.50.
It's usually a VG.
Yeah.
So would that be more of like a collectible as opposed to something you're going to play?
Well, yeah.
Like if you have the better grade, you mean?
Yeah. Like those near a mint one
So
or
you
something.
you have the customers that have sound systems that they spend $30,000 on,
Right. They're going to go for
and
the best of the
they
best.
want at the very minimum a very good plus record, because they will hear every little detail in a record. So
And like with Don, that is who sold us this big collection, he upgraded on albums. So
Yep.
within the collection I bought, you have Beatles records, like the White Album, for example.
Okay.
A copy that is all scratched to hell. No chance in hell it's going to play. Then you have one that's better.
Right.
Goes up to
Makes
near
sense.
mint.
That makes sense. That's like my movie collection. I've got like doubles and triples of certain movies,
Yep.
just for quality wise.
Yep.
I've got like a DVD copy, a Blu-ray copy, an HD copy. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's I totally get it. Same concept.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
You got-
Speaking of movies,
Uh-oh.
what was I going to talk about? Movie
soundtracks.
Soundtracks. Yeah.
Okay, what would your
What's your favorite
I was-
soundtrack?
I was gonna ask you like your top 3 to 5 soundtracks.
Top 3 to 5. Okay, if I'm doing top 5, you look at Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
That is a damn good soundtrack for the first one.
There's-
Even
there's-
both of the soundtracks.
Is
For
there
1 and
2?
2.
Okay, is there more than one soundtrack for like the first one? Like, is there different volumes of it?
There might be. That's newer records.
There are 3.
3.
For the one movie, or is there one?
It's one for each movie.
One for each movie, right? So volume 1 is the first Guardians of the
There's- I
Galaxy.
think there's
and
only
volume
2.
Yeah,
is
there's 1 and 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Is there no third?
Not yet. Not
Is
yet.
it 3 movies?
There's
3
only 2 right now.
I think maybe the first one came out in 2 versions. I think that's what it
possible.
was.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking 3.
But
there- yeah.
as something that is more current,
Mhm.
that would be a better pick for me. You look at Pulp Fiction, anything by Tarantino, he has
Yep.
damn good soundtracks. Reservoir Dogs, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. By
Reservoir
far.
Dogs. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I also have
Almost Famous.
which we
Okay,
refer.
but you didn't buy that one, so you can't count that.
It doesn't matter. It's still
You
a good
didn't buy it.
soundtrack.
You won it.
So it's still a good
I know.
soundtrack.
But it's not. It's not good enough
Oh,
for
sorry,
you to
I-
spend your money on.
Sorry, I won it, so it's not a good soundtrack. Come on, man.
I didn't say it wasn't a good one. I just said you can't count it
Purple.
because you didn't spend any money on it.
Oh,
Why not?
I don't know. Why didn't you spend
What's
money
your
on
favorite soundtrack on vinyl?
it? Oh, yeah. Shut up.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
there's other good soundtracks. Forrest Gump.
The Blues Brothers.
Okay. You have that on vinyl?
I do.
That bullshit.
I didn't spend any money on it, but
There
I
you
have
go,
it.
so it doesn't
I
count.
know, that's right. I don't even have a record player, so but I have that record. Okay, you were saying Tarantino movies have like awesome soundtracks, right? You know what I heard today about Tarantino actually is that when he is like thinking of an idea for a movie or going to make a movie,
Yep.
it all generates from the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So he'll get a song and he'll be like, "Oh, this will be the opening song to this movie that whatever this movie is going to be that I'm going to make. This is the opening song. This will be the ending credit song. Oh, this will be like the mid climax of the movie song or whatever." And then from the
And then he
songs
builds the movie around that?
around the music. I heard that today actually. Is that accurate? Do you know?
Yeah.
Is that
Tarantino also has this killer record collection. So, when he's plotting out a movie, he'll go into his record room, he'll put on a record,
right?
and then he'll say to himself, damn, this would be good. This would be good to put in a movie.
In a movie.
So he doesn't write it into the actual script, but he makes a mental note. And that's how he comes up with soundtracks.
Right. I wonder if that's like whatever that song is puts him in a specific mood that gives him the creativity to
Yeah,
write
probably.
a certain scene.
Yeah.
Even if the scene has absolutely nothing to do with what song is playing, right? Just maybe puts him in that zone.
You look at his
Maybe.
most recent movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Right.
Now, collectively with the 1960s, you already have a great soundtrack
Yeah.
to that entire decade. But you did a good job with that soundtrack. You had a lot of Paul Rader and Mark Lindsay, Mamas and the Papas. Yeah. Even a record we recently sold was, what the hell was his name? Billy Stewart. We sold that record for $87.50.
Yeah.
One of his songs was in there. He did a rendition of Summertime, which I believe was by, who the hell sang that? Etta James? May have been.
Summertime?
Oh, no, Billie Holiday sang
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of his songs was included in the soundtrack. Yeah.
See?
That's good. So okay,
and-
you would say anything like any Tarantino movie
Yeah.
would be in the top for sure,
Oh yeah.
right?
I even wrote an article for Funky Moose on the Tarantino soundtracks.
Did you?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
When?
Oh,
last year.
Yeah.
Could we find it?
Oh, we're not gonna read it.
No,
It's
No,
don't
but,
read it.
no, but how difficult would it be to find that article again?
Fairly easy. Why?
Well, because if it's like a year ago, I don't know how long those articles stay on the website.
Always. They're there. If you look under media and then read stories.
Is there a search thing?
Yeah, you can find it too, but I'm trying to. What did you call it? What was the title of the?
There it is.
Oh, here. Blood splatter on a film reel of pulp. The killer tracks behind the films of Quentin Tarantino.
There you go. Cool. I wanna read that.
January 20th last year. No. Yeah, must have been last year.
Yeah.
Because you didn't write that this year.
We should. Why don't we republicize it for this week?
Sure. But it's there. I mean, you
I know, but bring
Yeah.
it back up to the front so people don't need to search for it. Just
we
have
don't.
it so
we don't
it's
have
It's only
a front.
like
throw it in your face.
4 down.
Throw it in your face. That's what you get. There you go. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think of soundtracks, like growing up and stuff,
Yeah.
my top ones would be like, ones that I had was like The Crow 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Those
that's a
were
good one.
fucking sweet. I had this one's, I listened to it again. It's not as good as I remember, but I had the Dead Man on Campus soundtrack.
Never heard that one.
You ever see the movie Virtuosity?
No.
I had that soundtrack too. Actually, the very first album that I ever had, was on cassette. And no word of a lie, it was the soundtrack to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No word of a lie. I remember buying it because it had the Ninja Turtles on it. Right? That's when I don't know how old I would have been. 8?
18?
Yeah, 18 years old. And the cassette was pink.
Oh, you were telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first tape
Yeah.
music, like that was the first music anything that I ever owned, like myself, that it was mine. I think I was like 8 years old. And I bought it because it was the Ninja Turtles, and then whatever, I had the soundtrack to that. Weird.
If you
But I
still have
remember
that today, it'd probably be worth good money.
That pink cassette?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Anything
I
Ninja
don't.
Turtles is
Right?
worth good money now, especially the original shit.
That just pisses me off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we all have them. I should have kept my
Yeah,
Nintendo.
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I should have kept my Atari.
I still have a Nintendo. We still got that.
Yeah.
Kemper's big into having us play songs from specific games, and then he tries to guess what they are. We don't like make it hard on him, right? He's only 5, so we're gonna play songs that we have in the house, right? And see if he can decipher them. But that's like the big game right now at home. So we're playing like the Punch Out song and.
So that's the pop quiz asshole with your son.
Oh, here's a movie quote. See if you can figure out what movie it's from. Pop quiz asshole. I can get into a little bit more detail about it, but that's the quote.
Quiz asshole.
Pop quiz asshole.
Okay, I'm at a loss.
Okay, so
The Matrix.
no, the context of it is they're 2 police officers. Okay, they're like the buddy cop thing.
Starsky and Hutch.
No, and it's more modern than that.
Training Day.
Nope. And so this happens, I think, 3 times in the movie, where they'll be like, "Pop quiz asshole."
Die Hard.
The criminal or the crook or whatever has your partner at gunpoint by the head, and they're walking away as he's dragging your partner away. What do you do? So they do stuff like that, like "Pop quiz asshole." This is the scenario. What do you
Is
do?
Jake Gyllenhaal in it?
No.
No. Okay.
Is it
modern?
Lethal Weapon?
It's
Die
in
Hard?
the 90s.
Somewhere? Which one?
Somewhere. Speed.
Oh,
So it's Jeff Daniels
Oh.
and Keanu Reeves.
yeah.
And then so the whole thing is at the start they're like, "Oh yeah, the bad guys got your partner by the gun and they're walking away. What do
Right,
you
right,
do?"
right. Yeah, yeah,
and then that's what happens at the end of the movie.
Of course.
And they're like, and then he's there, got the gun to his head, and he's like, "Shoot the hostage!" And then he shoots his partner. And then
Did you
that's how he
watch
gets away.
Keanu Reeves' new movie?
I'm
Bill and Ted?
I did not, but I heard it was phenomenal.
Well, I got baked again about 2 weeks ago. It was a good movie. It's like, that is the perfect movie to watch when you're stoned.
Yeah.
But anyway, I fell asleep like in the last 20 minutes. I didn't try to, but I got so damn tired.
I wonder why. I heard it was really good. Like, it was not an homage to the originals, but it was like very consistent with the first two. Like, it's definitely a Bill and Ted movie for sure, right?
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I want to see it.
Yeah. It's funny, their dialogue. Well, when I was younger, like, their dialogue was so damn idiotic. The way they talked, hey, yeah, oh. But it's still idiotic, but it was a bit more entertaining to me.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I want to see it. Where did you you watched it online or something, or?
Oh, you can order it through Soundline.
So when you order that, do you have it forever?
No,
Yeah,
24 hours
24?
for new releases.
Oh, it used to be 48.
So how much does that cost to do that?
$20.
So why wouldn't you just spend the $20 and buy it?
Because you can't buy it. It's in theaters.
Yeah, I know, but it'll come out.
Oh, I could.
Then you have to wait.
Yeah, I suppose, hey?
And you gotta wait. I was excited to see that one because I watched the second one the week before.
Bogus Journey?
Yeah.
I like those shows too.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about news at all? Or just...
Yeah, what do you got? There was, so you know what I was listening to today is because it popped up in my Google feed, but there was a new song that was released off of Marilyn Manson's new album. Remember we watched the one video, We Are Chaos?
Yeah.
So I listened to
that album actually came out today.
Oh, that's why it was on my Google feed. I listened to 3 tracks off of it today so far, is all I got into it, but...
Wait, what?
3 tracks is all I got into it.
Judge sanctions Mariah Carey's ex-assistant for destroying evidence? What?
Yeah, I didn't even read that article. I should have probably read it before.
Okay,
I put that on there.
you threw it in the...
I just threw it in
chat
there.
here.
Yeah.
I got a question. Did Marilyn Manson actually scoop out his eyeball with the spoon?
No, not that I know of.
What about remove his ribs?
No, that's horse shit.
That's
100%
horseshit?
bullshit.
Oh.
100%.
How do you know?
Because I read his autobiography back in the 90s.
Oh.
There was even a rumor that he was Brian Warner, or his name's Brian Warner in real life. And there was a rumor going around that he was the kid with glasses on the Wonder Years. Because that guy's name, I think, was Brian Warner.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
So the rumor was that Marilyn Manson was him, but all grown up. And that's not true, neither.
Yeah.
But they just have the same name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good book. I'd lent it out and I never got it back.
Listen to his new music?
Yeah, I was at the concert. Actually, the night we met Rob Zombie, we had VIP tickets, and it was Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie, and then so we got to choose, do we want to go meet Rob, or do we want to go meet Marilyn, and we just picked Rob.
What was Rob Zombie like in
person?
In person.
Fucking down-to-earth, humble, sweetest guy. We actually met him before the actual concert, so we were waiting outside the stadium because we had VIP, right? So we got to go there at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And before the doors got open, this is in Saskatoon, you know how where the Blades play, the way that arena is set up. And they have that fence where all the buses and stuff go, and that's where they enter. So we had time to kill, so I was telling Janelle, fuck, let's just go take a peek over there at the buses and maybe we'll see somebody, right? And it just so happened that when we got to the corner, that Rob and Sherry were just walking by. So we were, they were from me to the records away, and we were like, hey, fuck, can we get a picture? So Sherry came in, and because Janelle's a huge fan of Sherry Moon. So Rob was standing in the background, and I took a picture of the two of them. And so we've got that photo. And then about 20 minutes after that was when we were backstage, and then we got to be with Rob and get pictures. So then we only had a few minutes with him. It was basically get in, get your picture taken with him, get out. And as the people in front of us were doing it, you got to go in his coffin and everything and get a picture in the coffin and all that. So we did that. And when we got in there, he was basically he autographed the poster. So I got him to sign one for Mark to Funky Moose. We got one signed for us with the backstage passes. And I was just asking him, in that time that I was with him, I asked him what, I remember back in the day, there was talk of you doing another Crow movie. and like why did that not happen, and what's going on with that, right?
Yeah.
And will it ever happen? Like, is there a chance you'll ever do another Crow movie? And in a nutshell, his response was like, to paraphrase, it was like, it's never going to happen because the producers in Hollywood are fucking retarded. Like, that's not exactly what he said, I'm paraphrasing, but that was like the gist of it. Like, don't get your hopes up, kid. Like, it's not going to happen, you know? So it was pretty good. So then we kind of talked about like movies a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it was like we had to go because the next group was coming in. So then we got to go and we watched the show. We were like on the main, we weren't that far from the stage, maybe here to the wall away. It was a good concert, but that was kind of my experience with it.
And that's why he's
like,
deaf.
I got to ask him that question, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, like I didn't really care about the albums or anything. It was like, are you ever going to do this movie? Because 3 from Hell had just come out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think his movies are awesome. We're definitely fans. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was fun. It was exciting. I would do it again in a
Yeah.
heartbeat. And then, so yeah, we were with Rob, and people could go in and get their pictures with Marilyn in his bus, I think is where they were stationed. We were like underground stadium. It was weird, in the, like where the Zamboni room is kind of thing is where we were. But I think people were going on his tour bus, and they got a little tour of the tour bus and got to hang out with Marilyn.
Yeah.
But there was comments about how Marilyn was like he was pretty much out of it at that time. And but that could have been speculation too, right? They were like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna be okay for the show, or is he gonna be too hammered or whatever.
I only met 2 people that are relatively famous. Jay Semko, who lived 2 doors down from me in Saskatoon. He's a lead singer. I think he's a lead singer of Northern Pikes. I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He's a band member anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What's his
Kim
name?
Coates. Jay Semko.
Kim Coates, I got a
Jay?
picture with him too.
It's funny with Kim Coates. Well, before I got into records, I was obsessive about filmmaking, screenwriting. So I wrote a screenplay called White Dragon about a cocaine dealing movie producer
Okay.
based on the 1980s.
Did you have Kim Coates in mind when you were writing
No,
that?
I did not. But I told him that. He had what is it? Movie opening in Saskatoon, so I went to the theater there and said, "Hey, Mr. Coates." And he turned around, looked at me. "Hey, what's up?"
That was at, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off here. This was at, there was the Sheepdogs were playing. There was somebody else that I don't even remember who. It was some function that Kim Coates was putting on, and the Sheepdogs, they were doing a fundraiser for something in Saskatoon. So I think we paid like $30 and we got our picture taken with them and stuff like that. So
And he's a singer, songwriter, and bassist for Canadian band Northern Pikes. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, anyway, so I had the screenplay in my hand. I'm only 19 years old. Looked at him. "Yeah, I wrote this screenplay with you specifically in mind for the lead role." And then he looked at me like, "You have to be kidding me." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I had a binder. I don't know if I expected him to hold it all night or whatever. And he's like, "Well, you got your information on here, right? Your email, phone number." I'm like, yeah, it's all in there. He's like, "Okay, well, best of luck to you."
right.
And he walked off, and I had a feeling he just threw it out. But I won't blame him. I mean, unsolicited work, that's not how you go about it.
No, but would you not agree that there could be like some gold there?
Well, possibly.
Right? Think of the people who are calling you and being like, hey, do you buy records? Because I have a whole shitload of them. Will you come get them?
Well, it wouldn't be gold, but...
But you know what I mean?
You look
Yeah.
at
You might have a $300 record in there and you
Yeah.
might get it for
Oh,
$3.
for us, the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right?
guess, yeah.
So would that not be the same as like,
Yeah, for sure.
here's a script. Hey, you're an actor. You looking for a role?
Yeah, I
'Cause
specifically
one.
looked for you
Yeah.
in this role,
Yeah.
and
Right?
then the next actor, I specifically
also-
had you in mind.
I also see how that could be like dangerous for one thing.
Yeah.
Like look
What
at
if
the,
3 actors say, "Oh, this is awesome! I want the lead role," and they're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, or not even
this
that,
guy is
but,
full of shit.
but you get like those creepy fans and shit, like that guy who breaks into Eminem's house
Yeah.
and then is saying, hey, I went there to kill him, right?
Well,
like,
this I don't know about that. Like that's
what? Spit it out.
That's like Mark David Chapman
Fake
type
news?
shit.
well. First, this guy breaks in to just break in, and then Eminem just kicks him out, kind of. And
Or
now,
kicks his ass.
and now he was there to kill him. I'm like,
Okay, so that could
there's a gap in that story.
That's
there.
right. There definitely is, and we are on like the other like, yeah.
You look
Be
at
a
some of these
publicity.
news agencies, you know, half of what tells a story is what you have in the title. So
Yeah.
if you have a story that just says this guy broke into Eminem's house
Yeah.
and
are
got
gonna
kicked
skip
out
that.
immediately,
Yeah.
people aren't interested. Now, if you spice it up, he wanted to kill him. It's a juicy story. People are going to click on it, and it works
That
out
makes-
for them.
that makes
And
perfect
then you can
sense.
actually downplay it in the article somewhere.
Right.
But
That makes sense. So when did that originally happen?
Oh,
Wasn't
this
that
was-
a couple months ago?
yeah, at least.
So is this like because there's nothing to write about out there that
Yeah.
these journalists need
Could
to
be.
like throw it back to this bullshit story from 2 months ago and
Could
try
be
and, like,
because there's not a lot of news. So I'm
There-
glad Jeremy's
there-
here.
this is what pisses me off. We talked about this last week too, right? Because I mentioned like what are the top 5 things
Yeah.
that reporters are writing about in the media,
yeah.
and it's all horse shit. And then something positive or good is called soft news.
So
There's
it-
lots of shit out there to write about.
Yeah.
That it's not just COVID. There's
should
more to this world than fucking
We
COVID
should start
out
a
here.
news site. Oh no, what's his name from The Office did that. He started his Good News
Oh, Jim.
network. Jim, yeah, he started his Good News network.
The thing about
Great.
good, jolly stories, you know, they don't sell. Typically,
No, I know. But,
you look at your Hollywood
hey,
movie.
but he started that as a YouTube channel
Yeah.
by himself in his underwear,
Yeah,
and he
Yeah,
sold.
wasn't it just a podcast?
Yeah,
that
and he
started?
sold it to someone for a boatload of money.
Yeah.
So doesn't sell? I don't know.
well, I guess it's
and then, like-
it's different from what you're used to with all the bullshit.
Yeah.
That to me is what's going to sell. Something different, something new. I feel like that's what we need as
So now if all the good news networks are popping up everywhere, then the bad news is going to sell again.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's almost like a political thing where they're going to lean too far left, and then to make up for it, to compensate for it, they'll lean too far right. They just can't
then
meet in the middle. It's like
And then there's always,
The
see,
extreme.
they suck. And
Yeah.
then they get
yeah,
it back. And
that's good and evil.
All back and forth.
yeah. But we're not going to talk about politics.
No, but I was just like making
Yeah.
reference to it that's
I wonder how different the world would be if it was only good movies. You know, where
Only
you
good
had a
movies?
good
Only Tarantino.
no, you had a good character, right? And only good things happen throughout the movie, and there's no conflict, and there's no, you know,
antagonist or any of that kind of stuff.
no sociopathic characters, anything of that nature. I wonder how different we would be. You know, as a
Right.
Nobody would
society.
watch
As
that, though.
society,
No, you would say nobody will watch it, but if we were programmed
Yeah, I
to,
guess.
and we were watching that,
But that's
going
going to take generations to fix, though.
Oh yeah, and I think that is a big part of the problem.
Yeah.
You hear 90%, it's all negative, so it becomes instilled in your mind that you need to look for the bad in everything.
Yeah. And that's the normal.
Yeah. And that's a normal. That's why you have all these Karen videos.
it's just isn't that true though? The shit that we see on TV and in the media, it's not facts. It isn't. It just plain the world that we see through that square thing hanging on your living room wall isn't what's really out there. You go out in the real world
That Canadian
and
flag
live
is
your
real, man.
life is going to be like the conceptions and the interactions and everything that you're dealing with is completely opposite of what you're going to see on TV. Not just
Opposite?
fictional in like movies and stuff. I'm talking about like shit you'll see on the news and everything. Just
I'm not
everything
sure.
in general.
I'm not sure if it's opposite, but I think everything on TV and computers and like the interwebs
Media, yeah.
is inflated by
Right?
a lot.
Yeah, it's and it's just not factual.
I think the majority of the fact is there.
But it's overblown.
Yeah.
Right. over heightened or whatever the expression is,
Yeah,
right?
because everybody has a cell phone now. Everybody can take a video of whatever, completely out of context. Because it's usually the cop videos, and I'm not defending any of the cops or before or against whatever.
Yeah.
But it's usually the video starts when one of the people that are in an argument is doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That's when the video starts.
Yeah.
Whatever
it's
happened
like
before.
Everybody's an editor, right?
Yeah. Whatever happened before didn't happen.
Yeah. So in a way, all of us, well, a percentage of the population becomes a social justice warriors,
Yeah.
and they want to point out the wrongs in somebody else.
Yeah.
And in doing so, aren't you antagonizing? You're becoming antagonistic in
Yep.
a way.
Yep.
And if you're pointing a camera in somebody's face, what kind of reaction are you expecting? Are you expecting?
The people that do that didn't get slapped in the face enough.
No.
Or spanked.
And
You get spanked?
No.
I
Really?
never got spanked either.
Suck. You did or didn't?
Ever.
Well, that's what's wrong with you guys.
I got a.
Spanked all the time.
I remember my mom telling me that she whacked me once and she regretted it. Well, it was kind of like she scared
She
the shit
felt
out of
worse
herself.
than-
Yeah, because I was being an annoying little shit while she was vacuuming, and she just whacked. She was, oh shit, and then she never did it again.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just shit's different, man, and I think there's still change to come.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
there's always change coming. Change is always going to be here.
Okay, but do you feel that change is going to be more, not repetitive, but more frequent, or change will
Faster.
be more,
It'll be faster. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
than it was in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
possible.
it's going to be hard to adapt.
Because everybody wants everything now. Look at shipping. Like if we,
Yeah, you could be on the other side of the world, and they expect it tomorrow.
yeah,
Or by 5 o'clock today, I want this.
yep.
I placed an order 2.5 days ago. It still did not get here.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I ordered some freaking masks. Huh.
And they're still not
They're
here.
still not here
No.
yet.
But did you get a message from the owner of the company saying that they
that-
might be delayed?
I did, and a confirmation on my order to
Oh,
boot.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. A tracking number, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bought some Funky Moose masks,
Oh, you did?
and I still haven't gotten them yet.
And they were delayed.
They've been delayed.
And the
And
owner of the company
COVID.
sent an email to the customer.
So
saying-
just talk to him directly.
I could have, yeah.
I mean, you live in the same town.
Oh, you know what else we're bringing back, too? Is you remember those old Budweiser commercials?
Yeah.
Where they're like, what's up? Remember that? Yeah, Mark and I are bringing that back. We've been doing that to each other for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Every time we call. Like 4 or 5 times a
Jeremy
day.
and I never call each other.
No?
Never.
No, well, we live only a door away from each other. If I need something, I just come
Yeah,
next door.
that's true. Yeah. So next time you open the door, what's up?
If I start calling you, there's
Usually-
probably something wrong.
Usually,
I have COVID, Mark.
no, the only time Jeremy calls me is like, hey, I'm at this collection. Should I buy this?
Right.
That was probably the last time you called for... No, actually, no, when we were driving around in Regina, we were on the phone because you were in the vehicle behind me.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only time.
I don't know where you went,
But you
Jeremy.
guys had Bluetooth. You had Bluetooth running though, right? 'Cause you guys were
you're-
driving,
No,
Your,
I was pulled over
Oh,
because
yeah.
my GPS signal. So I was trying to get from the seller's house out back onto the highway, and I was like, okay, I'll program this in my GPS, put it there, and drive. And all of a sudden, the GPS didn't move, and I'm like, all right, well, it'll pop back up, and I'll, intersection, keep driving. Shit, my GPS still not moving. Fuck. Oh shit. And I'm in a construction zone with a 26-foot U-Haul.
Right.
I'm like, fuck. And I look in my mirror. Jeremy's gone. Oh fuck. Where am I? Where am I going? What's happening? So I pull over, and I call him. I was like, dude, where are you? I'm coming up right about now. Okay, good. You're close. Because my GPS sucked, and I don't know where I'm going. He's like, okay. Let me look it up on GPS too. And I followed him out of the city because
right.
for some
What
reason,
the hell was going on with your phone?
I don't know. It's either the phone itself.
Or because you're Dutch and you didn't like push start on the
Well,
roof?
maybe I said, hey, Google, and I I said something and she didn't understand my
How do
accent.
you say? How do you say "Hey Google" in Dutch?
Hey, Google.
Oh, okay.
Right on. Do we got anything else in the?
We got?
Do we have anything else in the news?
There's always something in the news.
Yeah. Do we have anything music related?
Yeah, there's one thing here. Data shows 90% of streams go to the top 1% of artists. And I was talking to Brandon, who we had on the show
Bigger?
last month. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I'm paraphrasing here, but I'll start paying for Spotify if I start making more than $9.99 a month on Spotify. Which means he's not making more than $10 a month off Spotify. So if you're an indie artist and you don't have a massive following, you're not going to be making any money on Spotify.
So what's considered a massive following?
I'm guessing a few 100,000 to 1 million or something. Because if you, 90% of the streams go to 1% of artists. And there are a lot of artists on Spotify.
Yeah, with Joe Rogan, he got a $100 million deal, didn't he?
He
for
did.
Was that
his
what it was?
podcast.
100 million, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. He has some entertaining content, though.
Have you been watching the last three? I think he's done 3 or 4 from the new studio in because he moved out of LA, right? He lives in Texas now.
Yeah.
Why?
Austin, because of the government and the way that they're running COVID and all this shit. There's different factors, but one of the main ones is the Comedy Store, right? That's where the comedians go and they practice their art and their form, and when they get it.
That's in Texas?
No, this is in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Right, the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
So they go there and they chip away. They get their craft honed into an hour, and then they go on tour. And then after the tour, they'll film a special. That's usually how that process happens, right?
Okay.
So since COVID, all the stores have been closed. So none of these comedians have been working. This is their profession, their job, and they can't go out and do what they're doing, right? Because of the laws in Los Angeles. But in Texas, that law was different, right? Businesses aren't closed in Texas, and they opened when, just different rules and regulations. The government is just run differently there. So that's one reason why Rogan did that, as well as the $100 million deal. He bought a lot of land out there. And his big idea from the episode I watched with Ron White, that yesterday I was watching it, I don't know how many acres of land he's got, but his long-term goal is to build another Comedy Store type thing where comedians can go and basically do the same thing they were doing at the Comedy Store, but he wants to do that in Texas on his own property potentially. Or, no, sorry. That was one idea. Another idea is on whatever street, there are some businesses that are closed and can't afford to stay open.
Right.
So when those go belly up, he's going to scoop up one of those businesses and do that idea there so that he can get a good deal on the land or whatever, the building. And then basically do that. But in time, he wants his own stadium to be able to do these comedy shows and make no money on it. Have a comedy stores, but just break even, and all the proceeds that they make will be donated to charity.
That's a good idea.
That's what it's all about. He's it's not about making money, because he obviously has enough money now where he's set. He's set for life.
Yeah.
So he wants to have these businesses, and then any
I
proceeds.
wonder if he invested that money.
In himself.
Anyway.
He might have.
Remember growing up watching Fear Factor, you wouldn't think that there'd be any content behind, his comedy routines.
Right.
And it's intellectual comedy. Mm-hmm. He talks about aliens and all this.
Yeah. But he talks about stuff that he cares about.
Yeah.
That he's interested in. He doesn't give a shit about anybody else. He just the guests he has on his show is people that he wants to talk about and pick their brain.
Yeah.
Right? That's all it is. He'll tell you that he'll be the first to tell you that he's an idiot and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He'll be the first to tell you that. And then he's getting people like Elon Musk. Yeah. Because I don't give a shit. But I watch a lot of Rogan.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Your Mom's House and stuff. I watch those kind of shows too, but that's different than
stupid.
Rogan.
That's just stupid.
It's entertaining to me.
Stupid entertainment.
To me, it's entertaining because I have a sick and twisted sense of humor. So
he does.
Yeah.
But
right.
yeah, what the hell? How did we get on that?
I don't know.
On Rogan?
Hey, he mentioned something about Spotify.
Spotify,
Oh,
right?
Spotify.
Yeah.
But I do this at work all the time. In the coffee room, they'll be talking about one thing, then
Yeah.
I'll just redirect the conversation.
But we're on Spotify too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this last week too. So if Spotify podcast, would we take it? And I was like, fuck yeah, we would. Like, why would
Why would you hesitate?
Right? Well, because the way we got on that was because as soon as the deal went through with Spotify, is there was some specific episodes of Rogan that got like taken off air. They're gone. You can't find them. Sure, you can find them if you look hard enough. But then Mark was saying, well, how do you feel about that? Like, if that's your content and you're putting it out there, don't you want people to see it? And I'm like, fuck, if they give me $100 million, they could erase all the episodes and we'll start from scratch. Like, I don't give a shit, right?
Because we got 50 million each.
Well, yeah. Exactly. No, we get 33 point.
Well, that's if I join
The show.
Yeah.
You can. So here's what we can.
Are we making a deal right now?
We can maybe. What we can do is when the new studio goes up, right, or the new headquarters.
Yep.
Right. And there's like the new.
Sounds so fancy.
Right. Well, that's what it's called. The new headquarters.
I
goes
just
up.
call it the building between our houses.
And then we'll have the
building between the bushes.
between the bush.
Between two ferns.
But in the studio,
Yeah.
like, if we're the two guys on air, like you'll be the guy behind the camera, the producer.
Nadav.
Yeah.
Nadav is
That's right.
Googling.
See, I'm getting him into YMH
I don't
here.
know
but-
who
No.
Nadav is.
That's right.
He's a producer of
He's the
that
producer
show,
of
and
YMH.
he's terrible at Googling.
Oh.
That's why they made
That's
a song about
the
it.
whole
That's
joke
the only. That's the only thing about that whole YMH that I know.
because that's all I told you.
Yeah,
so far.
exactly.
I
Gonna
can
keep it that
show
way.
you some videos
No, I'm
later,
good.
but maybe you better get a puke bucket out. But yeah, so that could be something like when we have like a station area where we don't need to do all this setup crap before each episode. We can just go in, flick a switch, and away we go.
Yeah.
And then we can edit on the fly or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then get it uploaded that same day or the next day.
Because we got faster internet now.
That's right.
Fuck.
Why is my internet faster than here?
Because mine isn't upgraded fully yet.
You're a little closer to the hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that'd be something that you're interested in, but that's kind of like, I think we've kind of talked about that a little bit already, like,
Yeah, it's a possibility.
right? And then keep doing the show. Now, ideally, in my head, like, it's not my studio, right? We know whose studio it is, but,
Is he here?
yeah. but
She's
I, like,
upstairs.
yeah, right? She's putting the kids to bed. But like, the way I see it in my head is like in the studio when we're doing the show and we have guests and stuff, like it would be ideal if like the bands or musicians could just, we can talk about a song or something and then they can just start playing it and whatever.
Yes,
on
speaking
the
of,
fly.
did you see me tagging you on Facebook on a post?
No,
didn't
I
think
don't
so.
do Facebook.
No, I know, but it was a Facebook post and I didn't know how to share it with you that you would actually see it.
Right.
But Jam Street in PA has it's not a new owner, but new management. The owner is still the same, but so they have a rehearsal space for bands now. So they have their it's more of it used to be just an open area, kind of like a music. How do you explain that? It's an open area with a stage, basically. That's what it
Okay.
was. But now,
Soundstage.
yeah, but now they also have an extra room where you can, have your jam sessions and then I saw it and it had the drum kit and comfy couches and whatever. And I was like, that's what we need.
So, well, that's what I see in my head.
Yeah. But for the time being, we could record an episode or two there.
Oh, right. Like for in the meantime.
Anywho.
We were kind of talking last week too about how like I'm getting in it. So Janelle and I, we hit up a lot of concerts, right? Like that's our thing where we're going to indulge our money or whatever. We're going to spend the extra couple $100 to get VIP tickets to a concert, even travel a little ways, cough up, make a weekend out of it kind of thing. And I haven't been able to do that in like, it's been, I think the last one we did was when Metallica was in Saskatoon, or Rob Zombie was after that. It was one of those two. It's been a while. And I'm like, I got an itch for a live performance, a live show. So we were kind of tossing around the idea of maybe trying to get something together. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular or huge, but something to just kind of scratch that itch a little bit, right? I don't know if that's something that you'd be interested in helping put together as well, and getting that ball rolling. Have you had any more thought on that?
No.
Yeah.
Not really. Well, I thought about it.
Yeah, I've thought of
Nothing,
a couple people that I would like
concrete.
to.
Thought is nothing if
Exactly.
you don't take action.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, ideally, it would be fun to get that rolling before winter.
Yeah.
Which doesn't give us a lot of time.
No,
It might not even be plausible to do it in that short period of time.
It's
But
not
I'm
so-
thinking like 100 people.
like
Doesn't have to be
it's
big.
not so much the getting the artists in line because
It's a cost.
they're not doing anything right now anyway.
Right. It's how much is it going to cost? You can't get like
That,
10 bands because
And we need to be able to advertise it properly ahead of time so we can actually have some.
Right. Well, you guys like, I don't know what you guys think about that. I'm definitely interested in it, but it's not worth us doing something like that if there isn't enough interest in it. So if you guys are interested and want to do something like that locally, if we're thinking Saskatchewan, right, obviously, like hit us up, let us know, because like if nobody's interested in it, why are we going to waste our time?
And even if you're not interested in the concert, but you want to be on the show, also let us know.
Well, so another idea would be like if we do 50 or 100 people, right? And get a private sesh going, but then we could even do something online, like set up cameras in the back on like a Zoom call so that people at home can still watch what we're doing, but from home. Do you know what I mean? Maybe something like that.
What you talk to a place local like Shaw Cable, and you see if they'd want to
Sponsor
broadcast
or advertise,
sponsor,
right?
Yep.
something like that. And
Well, our internet provider on the hill, Access, has a local TV station too.
Wouldn't that be like what Matt? Well, no, he did Facebook Live today.
I don't know.
What Matt did, but that was like I think TD Bank and some other companies put it on.
But I think we can talk about this forever.
Right. So should we end on that note?
Sure.
You guys hit us up if you think it's a good idea. If you think it's a bad idea, let us know, man. Write it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that bell.
Ding dong.
Remember that song?
You can ring my bell.
no, I have
Ring
no
my
idea.
bell.
Ding dong.
Is that how you end every episode?
No.
No.
What else?
Also, check out Funkymooserecords.ca. The podcast is on there too. And
I had one other thing.
Facebook and Instagram is at FunkyMooseRecords. And Twitter is at FunkyMoose_CA. On that note, we are done.
We're out. See you guys next week.
Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-